What's it for you as head of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Mrs. Titilola? What's it for you? We have, for the past 2 weeks or thereabout now, the 16 days of gender activism, and it's been one activity after the other. But how far have we really gone? Are we making progress?
Thank you so much. And just like Mrs. Falana said, I think we're gradually breaking the culture of silence. It's important for us to note that these issues have always been there. And what we're witnessing now is an increase in reporting increase in formal and informal reporting of cases. If you look at the data, this year, we've been able to provide services to over 4,333 survivors who have reported various forms of domestic and sexual violence. We know that we have not even scratched the surface because these issues continue to remain one of the most underreported cases. But with the heightened awareness, increased advocacy, demonstration of political will, we would say that we're well on our way in, if not eradicating, or reducing the occurrence to the bare minimum.
Right. Let me come back to you, Mrs. Falana, talking about we are not yet scratching the surface, and the fact that we haven't really gotten to the root of the major cause of these matters of sexual and gender-based violence. What would it take for us to get down to the root, even beyond scratching the surface?
Thank you very much. Yes, like Titilola said, why we get reports, and like in my own organizations also, we get on a daily basis as of today, we get up to 20 on average of cases of domestic violence being reported to us, and we have what we call mediations, and sometimes we may need to go to court. But I want to also say that issues of violence do not get reported because of so many factors. Number one, we talk about the culture of silence, which is the misconception of people believe when you report this, you may, of course, lose your dependency on the fellow that is the perpetrator of the violence. And of course, you may also have what they call stigma, especially in cases of rape. And so there are laws against domestic violence. But the issue is that people must speak out before these laws can be taken the benefits of. We say a lot has been done in the area of domesticating the Child Rights Act, which also guides again and makes provisions against child rights law. Of recent, it was reported that about 34 states out of 36 in Nigeria have domesticated child rights law, which means that child rights law are applicable in these states. But unfortunately, people don't get to use this law because they don't speak out. Again, the Law Against All Persons Prohibition Act, which is all persons prohibition, which we call VAP, Law Against Violence Against All Persons Prohibition Act, which was enacted in 2015, has also been domesticated by about 34 states in Nigeria, with the exception of Zamfara State and Kano State. But I want to tell you that despite these laws, we still don't get the benefits of this law by the people because they don't speak out. And one of the very terrible things that is militating against speaking out is the culture. This culture of silence, we want to say, must be broken, must be taken away. Now, we get to experience in our own organization that when people bring the case of rape to us and we get to court, we always try, okay, when you have the case, unfortunately, when you become a victim of rape, make sure you speak out, but do not wash your underpants because the evidence of your underpants will be the primary evidence for the forensic evidence that we need in court. But go to the police station thereafter, after reporting at the hospital, take your forensic evidence, then go to the police station and report. Very many times we discover that people back out after some time. And you ask them, they'll say, lawyer, don't be angry. We don't want to pursue it because it casts a sort of stigma on the person. And of course, nobody's going to marry her again. And I will say no. If we do not get to prosecute these people, unfortunately, we will not be able to deter prospective offenders who are out there, who may want to commit the same offense. Again, talking about domestic violence in the home. When a man is violent and the relationship is becoming so toxic, we always advise the woman to speak out, run for your life. But they don't want to run because one of the reasons, again, is economic independence. Because they depend on the man. And then the issue is, where do I start from? How do I go? There are occasions of people that come to my office to report cases of stepfathers molesting their stepchildren right under the nose of the mother. But the mother cannot speak out because the mother will be considered, if I speak out, what happens? Where do we go? Who is going to take care of us? And so taking this issue from there, my organization has looked at it, and one of the things we need to do is also to economically empower women. Women must be empowered. We have a home, a shelter for victims of domestic violence, which Wheeler has just built. And in addition to that, we have a skill acquisition school for them. So we want to say that when a woman is facing violence, after coming to us, we want to take you away from the site of the violence. Then we have a home where we provide for you. Thereafter, we put you in the skill acquisition school. When you're able to acquire the skill, we give you instruments of trade, articles of trade, like sewing machines, hairdressing. We have many of these departments. We buy for them and we give them money to start. Why we are doing this is because we want them to be economically empowered. Again, we talk about discrimination. Like I said, discrimination against women is a form of violence in their society. Now, of recent, Wheeler and 22 other non-governmental organizations went to court to challenge the appointments in positions in public offices recently. That CEDAW, which is the Convention Against All Forms of Elimination of Violence Against Women, provides that at least 35% of public offices must be given to women. Of course, in the last appointment, I'm sure everybody knows that it wasn't so. So we went to court, and the court held that yes, it should be so, and that the government should adhere to this. So that is the law as of today. It has not changed, and we are looking at what's going to happen in the next dispensation.